How you doing? Mr. DJ's back. Let's go ahead and get back on the countdown. My fancy playlist from number 13 to number 8, the week of November the 29th, 1986. This is the piano on this record is just it's priceless. It's just I can't I can't put my finger on it. It's absolutely beautiful. It's a wondrous thing to listen to. And the thing about standards is I get tired of listening to standards. I'm an avid radio listener, and if you're an avid radio listener, you kind of get tired a lot quicker than the casual listener as far as hearing the same record over and over again. And this song was overplayed in the fall of '86, but I'll never get tired of this record. It just won't happen. The Way It Is by Bruce Hornsby at number 8. The thing about the 80s would surprise you because a lot of people thought the 80s didn't have any soul. It was all synthetic. All music in the 80s was synthetic, particularly in the mid to late 80s. I remember Don Henley. It was Don Henley of the Eagles. He was on television one time. He might have been accepting an award. I don't remember what it was. It was in 1990. He was condemning soul music at that time, or R&B music at that time, as not having any soul. And part of me agreed with him. Coming from the era of Otis Redding and Wilson Pickett, Eddie Kendricks, that's some sweet soul music right there. But popular music is very complex. It's not simple. There's a lot of dynamics. For example, you would have somebody like Debbie Gibson, Tiffany, Paula Abdul, sort of a synthetic pop. Good music, but synthetic pop. Just fluff. But then Tracy Chapman comes out with Fast Car. Boom! A message song that's supernovaed. And that's the 80s. The surprise, there were a lot of message songs back in the 80s, more than you would imagine. And when people think of protest songs or message songs, they think of the 60s. And that's true. But in the 80s, you had Born in the USA by Bruce Springsteen. You also had Fidgenettes like My Hometown by Bruce Springsteen. Life in a Northern Town by Dream Academy. And I'm trying to think of some more songs that were message songs. Even something like Major Tom by Peter Schilling. A direct descendant of Space Oddity by David Bowie. And this was a message song. Got quite a few of these on this fancy playlist. The Way It Is, a song about the Civil Rights Act, passed in 1964, a song that exhorted the populace to not get complacent, not to accept racial injustice. Bruce Hornsby, The Way It Is. Bruce Hornsby was a staff songwriter. He was writing songs in a popular style, but he wasn't getting anywhere. Nothing. He wasn't getting any record deals. He switched gears. He started writing songs in his own style, and his style was ECM jazz. I don't know. I'm going to try to look up ECM later on. Reason why I didn't look up ECM to find out what it meant was because the computer's running real slow. So having some computer problems tonight. He made some demos in a jazzy demos, or demos in a jazzy style. One of them was The Way It Is song. He sent it to a record label. The record label, it was a new record label that specialized in vocal groups. It was called Wyndham Hill. But then other record companies, they got a hold of the demo. And they said, hey, we want to sign you. Bruce Hornsby signed with RCA Records because they offered him creative freedom. And the hits began to flow. There's The Way It Is. That was top 10. Might have gone to number 1. I don't think it did. I'll have to double check on it. There was Mandarin Rain. Valley Road was another one in 1988, I believe. God, that guy could play the piano. He was tall, too. A lot of people didn't know that because in the video, the piano playing is so stark. The lyrics are so stark in this song. It gets right down through it just spine tingling. He was 6'4", 6'4". A lot of people were surprised because he sat down at the piano so much, and when he got up, he was just, wow, this big tall guy, Bruce Hornsby, rather. Well, here he is at number 8 on my fancy playlist, November 29th, 1986. The Way It Is, Bruce Hornsby and The Range.